one moment for this to pop up live. I'm going to pop on host real quick. And then we can start. Live. You want to take us off? I'm going to...
Sure. Welcome to another Monday Musings. I'm here with Paul. Welcome to another Monday Musings.
Should probably not have that going like that. It's going to pick up, right?
Yeah, actually. Paul.
Welcome to another Monday Musings.
Probably not have that going like that. It's going to pick up, right?
Oh, this is picking up?
Yeah, it's just picking up the whole thing. You want to... See? It's just going to repeat over and over and over again.
Oh! I meant to have that muted. I thought you were talking about the phone. He was making the noise on the phone. I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal.
No, I was just like turning up my ringer and sharing the post about going live.
You gotta just mute the TV for the thing in general. There we go.
Boom.
All right.
Let's get back to what we were doing.
Yep.
Like I said, here we were with Paul. We have Nick over here, the manager over at Game King.
How you doing?
The owner, Derek. Myself, Roman, and our buddy Josh, the Mad Titan.
That's me. I'm Josh.
He's mad.
I'm not particularly angry today. All right, so we're going to start off today with some upcoming events and whatnot. I'm going to put 15 minutes down on there. We're going to start that up. If it's... Oh, there we go. Yep. All right, so what's going on this week at Game King, where game is game and king is king?
We got a bunch of stuff this week. It's going to be pretty jam-packed. We have all our regular events, Yu-Gi-Oh! On Tuesday. If anybody wants to come down and get L5R demos on Tuesday, we've been doing that every week. Wednesday night we have all the guys down for Warmachine.
Which has really been slamming lately.
Yeah, we picked up some new players.
Yeah, we have. I've been a little upset I haven't been able to come down in the last few weeks. So this week will be different.
Yeah.
I'll slam everyone this week, unsuspecting.
Sneak attack.
Yep.
Wednesday's also our Wizkids night. So the guys alternate between doing HeroClix and Dice Master tournaments.
Nice. Which one's this week?
I believe they're on HeroClix this week. And we're also launching a HeroClix Sealed League.
Very nice.
Oh, so kind of like a sealed draft almost, but not the draft part. But
right now,
yeah.
You get a couple packs to start with, and then
your...
each week you can add to it, and
very cool.
Everybody in the league can play up to 5 games per week. You have to play against a different person every time. But the cool thing about this one is we have these special Civil War boosters that are only able to be used in organized play. So we're going to offer those for people buying into the league as an option for their packs.
So you get some exclusive stuff?
Yep.
Very cool.
And then we have some pretty cool prizes. We have a like this colossal size invisible jet figure, and we have a...
So is it just the base and you say the jet's there?
No, there's a...
Clear plastic jet.
Yeah. And a colossal size Dormammu. Who, if anybody's at least seen the Doctor Strange movie.
Yeah.
So first place winner will get to choose between those two, and then the other one we're gonna give out random as a door prize to
Very cool.
one of the participants.
Yeah, having participant prize is awesome because then if you're not particularly good, you still have a chance of winning one of the best prizes in there.
Yeah, we also have like these cool poker chip bystander tokens, like little guys that you can add to your team. They're usually like really cheap in points, and they don't have any clicks. It's just
they're just there.
A single hit, but they have like all the stats on the poker chip. They're pretty cool.
A lot of people use them for action tokens. They're
Yep.
like really, really good quality, high quality poker chips.
Cool.
So the entry is $30. We're going to start that on Wednesday.
Nice.
And then Thursday, we've been doing Star Wars Destiny. It's been going pretty well. We're going to do a tournament this Thursday to wrap up our first league. So everybody will use their league decks. We'll do a tournament style. Everybody will, Swiss pairings and everything. And then we have a prize kit.
Very cool. Does that mean you're going to be starting a new one?
Yep, we're going to start a new one. We're going to actually start gameplay next week. this week, anybody that comes down can
Kill me with the Oz.
anybody that comes in this week can
I feel like Samuel L. Jackson. Say one more time.
buy into their pool and
Yeah.
build their deck.
So it's like a sealed thing where you
Yes.
gotcha. And that's Thursdays now. You guys still doing GW as well on
Yep.
Thursdays? Yep.
If anybody wants,
We should have a drinking game.
It's kind of early for that.
It's past noon.
I'll go see what we got for booze.
Somewhere.
You can just throw, if you want to stop making funny, you just throw Paul under the bus and we'll immediately.
That's what you
Go
guys
back
do
to
all the time.
So that's it for Thursdays, I'm guessing?
Drink.
yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Friday nights F&M. We just add Commander to the options for F&M players.
That's cool. You had a few people last week do that. That was nice.
Yes. So there's been a lot of interest. I think it's going to go over well. We
Yeah.
also
We will also drink. We will also offer casual
Almost
pods.
just as bad as us.
Yeah, I know. But at least I'm conscious of it, and I will try to not do it. It's just good speaking skills. We have to. We'll be offering pods also without the official F&M stamp. So we will have one event that's the F&M event because we only get so many promos is what it comes down to.
Yeah.
So we can't fire a million F&M commanders because we don't have enough promos. But we'll be offering open play. It'll be $1 a pod per player, and then for every player that you knock out, we have a box of greed, and it's filled with playable commander cards. A lot of them are straight from the commander
Box of
decks. Yeah, it's just a box that we made.
Oh, nice.
In Legend of the Five Rings and Warlord, they used to have promotions, and it was called the Box of Greed, and they would send you a box filled with rares, and you would have whatever promotion that they wanted to do, and if you filled the promotion, then you would get a pull out of the Box of Greed. So we just made our own.
Cool.
That's
I
kinda
like
cool.
the name.
Yeah,
That's really nice.
and
I like
they would send them in a box, and it said Box of Greed, and it was pretty cool. I still have a couple that I use for decks.
Very cool.
Did I say that?
no.
All right, you were laughing. I thought
Oh, I was just.
I was I'm trying. Damn it. So
We'd be drunk already.
Oh, yeah. Hammered.
So that's Friday. What's coming up on Saturday? Go ahead and just do it 3 times.
Yes.
So, I know Saturday we're doing 40K as well, and there's other stuff going on.
Well, this weekend's pre-release for
No.
IXALAN.
I mean, we should still offer. Not
Yeah,
everybody's a Magic
absolutely.
player, and
I will still
it
be.
takes
I'm going to try to play 40K almost every week.
The gaming tables are always available.
He said available. Is that yeah.
One thing I do want to mention is that we have these IXALAN tokens.
Very nice.
Magic is unveiling a new gaming platform. Well, not a platform, but it's basically competition for Hearthstone. So they are making a more. That wasn't an that was an A. They're making a
Yeah, but if you pause for 10 seconds
new.
after it counts.
Well, yeah, but it's better than hearing somebody go. That's the ones that really the quick ones don't bother me. When you're a Buddhist monk in a temple, that's the ones that I'm stop.
So arena.
Yeah, they're trying to compete with. Yeah, it's called Magic the Gathering Arena, and it's got graphics, and it's more interactive and exciting, I guess.
Yeah.
And they'll be doing you get a free draft a day and blah blah blah. I don't
They're supposed
know
to
the whole details of it, but Nick brought up a video of it, and we watched it real quick, and it looks pretty entertaining. I think it's just trying to compete. It's trying to compete with Hearthstone, grabbing the players that want to play a game,
Yeah.
but they don't want to invest a ton of money. They just kind of want something exciting to do to fill 10 minutes or whatever,
Yeah,
whatever it is.
And it looks like a pretty strong upgrade from Duels of the Planeswalkers. It has full rule enforcement and your legitimately playing Magic the way it's supposed to be played.
Duel of Planeswalkers was not good.
No.
It's just they have
It's
a
good
really
for
flashy
casual play.
interface, and it looks cool, and like it plays and looks kind of like a Hearthstone style game, but it's still Magic the Gathering.
Okay.
But what I was trying to get to before we go on a tangent is that we have these IXALAN tokens for treasures. If you swing by the store and come grab one, it's got the
closed beta website.
yeah,
Yeah.
and if you play in the pre-release, you get preferred access into the closed beta.
Very nice.
So come by, grab one of these tokens. They are free.
Playing a pre-release.
We have a decent amount of them.
Yeah.
Come play in the pre-release this weekend, and you will get preferential treatment into the closed beta. And usually, like, you get like some goodies, whether it's an avatar or something that says like I was in the closed beta, and it's usually worth your time. So if it's something that you want to try out, please come grab one of these. Come to the pre-release and be a closed beta tester.
Now, is this going to be something that you think that might end up trying to take over in the sense of monetary value-wise, like trading the cards and stuff, or is it just going to be like the most recent cards?
They plan
Or-
to start with standard.
Yeah. And then push into everything else.
Right. They're also going to offer draft and sealed at launch. They're interested in and planning on adding other formats and potentially going back and filling out the back catalog of sets. Trading is not going to be available at launch.
Yeah.
They basically in the video they said they consider it if there was enough push from the community.
Yeah. It's just one of those things like that user interface that they have for the Magic Online is so outdated at this point that they really kind of I feel like they have to bite the bullet. You know?
Well, I think this is going to be in addition to Magic
Yeah,
Online.
it's
But
not a
Yeah.
replacement
Magic
for
Online is like,
Never going anywhere.
I know.
well,
but
the thing is, it is as close as you can come to. I mean, they can make the interface a little more attractive and user friendly,
Yeah.
but the gameplay is
it's-
straight up
that's
what
Magic.
Magic.
Plus, it's literally got to be the single easiest source of revenue they have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't cost
Absolutely.
anything other than the people to maintain the servers. Like, they don't have to. print
Well, I would
cards.
imagine that they pay a lot for coding because that's it's pretty much flawless.
That's why
They
it looks
have
the way it does. I think they have like
bugs
2
and
to 3
stuff,
people
but-
that do that, and that's what they pay for. Like, and then like servers to host it. But
Yeah.
as far as
yeah, but
like,
they have to have top notch. Like maybe.
I think
it's-
that takes so little memory and everything. It's
Well,
probably
Well,
Like,
like,
they
the
probably
thing
have a
is-
separate design team from the coding team. Like,
Yeah.
I've read articles that have stated that they're at like the peak of what that like program is capable of being able to do because of how outdated it is.
yeah.
That's why
I bet
was
it's the
saying.
whole. I bet the whole thing is so simplistic compared to what things are today. Like,
I mean, they changed that just a couple of years ago. It's just that graphics and computers change like so fast.
Yeah.
Think before they say this is Magic Gathering 3.0. Like, how long has it been in testing before that?
yeah.
Like in the military, they're like 10 years behind on platforms because they have to test every aspect of it to
Yeah.
make sure that there's no
Way for people to
Yeah,
weaknesses.
bugs,
So,
bugs just in general, everything.
and that's using somebody else's. So when it's in house, they probably have tested that for a year, 2 years before
Yeah.
they like are ready to bring it to the public,
But
and then by
I
that
think
time
it's-
it's already like outdated.
I think it is probably overall very, very, very cost effective. For
I think they make a lot of
all
money.
the things they do.
100%.
I think they make a lot of money, but I think people don't realize the amount of coding and timing and stuff. They like Warlord. They tried doing a Warlord online game, and they couldn't make it work. And Warlord is so simplistic compared to Magic. Just like they had a hard time with the React windows. They were like, "Oh, there's too many React windows." In Magic, everything has a React. Every single ability, every single
Yeah.
has a React window. Like, but when you're coding and making sure that everything works the way that it's intended, like there's tens of thousands of, hundreds of thousands of cards.
And so many interactions and
everything has to work always the way that it's.
How far behind standard release is it? Like, is it like
Week or two?
It's like literally a week or two.
Yeah, they.
So is that we're almost running out of time? Is that everything for Saturday we were talking about? Is that I know we kind of.
So yeah,
Saturday will be
pre-release. Come get the user arena things.
And what do we have
Warhammer
on the slate
40K.
for Sunday?
Sunday will be pre-release also.
Oh yeah, obviously.
The first play on Sunday will be Two-Headed Giant, which is always super fun. And then Cardfight Vanguard, Hero Clicks League.
Cool.
X-Wing.
And X-Wing.
That's the first thing Paul said all so far.
Well, you know what? He's also said the fewest amount of ums than us. He's winning that.
Yeah,
He is
by default.
definitely winning in that area.
So he just said
Hands
two
down.
A's right there.
Me?
What?
Nick.
I wasn't saying.
That was a sigh.
Yeah, that was more of an audible sigh. That's what that was. All right, so I'm gonna.
But really, I think that with Arena, they're looking to mirror the Hearthstone model. It's going to be like freemium.
Good.
And I believe they plan on putting some kind of like redemptions in the packs.
Good.
So you can like
Just make it like that. So they'll make it into kind of like a PTCGO, where you can just get the packs. They don't actually have any monetary value.
right.
And I think, did we mention that the buy-in for the new league for Destiny is this week?
Yes.
Star Wars Destiny?
Yes.
when I talked about the wrap-up tournament.
All right, I just missed that
Talked
part.
about
So,
that.
Coming up.
so it's the buy-in. There won't be any actual games played until next week.
You can buy your pool and build your deck.
Yep.
Get ready for next week when we start actually playing League.
That's
So
that.
we're gonna switch over to the unboxing stuff. We hit the start. We get a half hour on the shot clock for unboxing. So what do you guys want to start with? The 40K or the
Start with the
Destiny?
40K, I guess.
So then
Alright.
these dice.
So we got a bunch of cool stuff here. Paul plays
Yes,
Nergle.
I play the best chaos unit there is.
They're the ones he can most identify with, I think, is what it comes down
I think
to.
that really is one.
They're
of
really
those.
nasty.
enough.
Gross.
They got some great stuff coming out.
You know, shower.
I wish they had this book when we did our K-Dog thing. Or maybe if we had this book, we
K-Dog?
probably would have
Connor?
won more.
Favorite counter is what
Yeah, I
he's
think that's what
trying
it means.
to.
So this is one of the. We're gonna go through this stuff and then let him dig through some of the book and give us some of his highlights because he has read the entire book. I saw him doing it instead of playing.
pretty
the
much.
other
Well, I looked at the pictures.
Yeah.
Very funny.
day. That's probably not too far from the truth. So these things are
The
super
hieroglyphics.
super cool. These are the Death Guard dice.
Yes.
So the pips have been replaced with these little mucus globules. Pustules, yeah.
Yeah,
But what's
just-
really cool about them, and let's see if we
Yeah,
have
yeah. Oh, man.
something. Can I
Just
see
like
that pen for a second?
Just like a
Wishy.
Nergling.
Yeah, see one?
So what's really cool about this is that these
Just like a Nergling.
little pips there are
Oh my god.
soft.
That's super cool.
There's, yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's cool though. I like how that's imaginative.
they're just really really cool. I can't wait.
Just like a Nergling.
I wish that the plastic
man,
was
I-
made out of something that felt a little heavier. To tell you the
Yeah,
truth.
it kind of.
But they feel chaotic.
Yeah, it's,
I mean, this is a really good idea. But if this was like something a little more solid, I'd be happier.
A little denser.
Yeah,
well, it might break the.
yeah, maybe that's why it is. But they're very very cool aesthetically
Oh
speaking.
my god, they're super cool.
Yeah,
I don't even like Nergle, and these are like super cool.
that clank though. That clank's nice. It's a nice clanking
It
sound.
feels it
unique.
feels chaotic. Like
Yeah,
These
Like
are definitely,
rolling bones.
yeah,
these are definitely
exactly.
some of the most unique dice I've ever seen.
Yeah,
You
they're
like
very
this?
nice.
Unite dice.
Unite
Very-
you, New York.
we also have the data cards, and I think data cards are way better now in this edition than they were before because they automatically come with the magic stuff. Like the
Do you have
data
this
cards.
stuff open, Paul?
What?
Do you have copies of this stuff open?
I got the copy of this open.
I'll
Do you
take
have a
that
copy
then
of this
for sure.
open?
No, I didn't get that yet.
All right, well he's buying these.
I'll get my book.
Well, yeah, if you got your book, you might as well.
Yeah. Another one that came out. I still can't get that. I'm gonna have to wait probably like.
Is
a
the
week or
chat
two
box
for
up?
that?
Yeah,
That theme book,
Just nobody's talking.
Scorn one.
Okay.
But that just recently came out too. That's nice.
So I'm assuming that most of these are fairly similar. two, as far as stratagems go, I mean, most of those are basically the same thing.
There's
a lot of the chaos, but there's a lot of new ones in this as well.
Yeah, there's about a half a dozen, maybe a dozen of them that are strictly Nergle.
Yep.
So,
do they have the magic as well? They do.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got a full Nergling. Look, basically, this is why he loves them. These all basically describe Paul. You have a miasma of pestilence, which is his cloud. You have
miasma of pestilence.
the gift
gives me
of the
bonuses.
contagion, which is a bad attitude. The plague wind. I mean, we've all had tacos with Paul.
Yeah.
The blades of putrefaction. Would probably be his X-Acto knife that he uses.
to cut things off sprues.
Yeah.
And
We got
mangle
the
them.
putrescence vitality. That one probably doesn't apply to him. In
Well,
any
that's
way.
probably how he lives.
And Curse
It's
of the
just
Leopard
like-
because he's always sitting by himself in the corner and nobody wants to talk to him. Instead of playing games.
When there's games
you-
available.
He only has so much battery power in his brain, so he's gotta like
What
charge.
He's only got so much
Yeah, so some of these.
pestilent vitality or whatever.
Yeah, I can't cast it enough.
So yeah, we got the whole set of cards. They have a really nice. Let's get that to zoom it correctly. They have a really nice border on them. It's very distinctly Nergling.
Oh, did they come off?
So it's
No, they're not supposed to. It can't like that.
So it's
That's what I'm
tactical
saying. If they were heavier,
objectives,
that'd be more likely to happen.
faction-specific
I wanna
stratagems,
take one of those
and
apart.
psychic
Let me see.
powers.
Yes.
Yeah, you got the specifically the.
Wish we had this book when we were doing that.
Fate of Connor.
Yeah.
Don't worry, you got it now.
Right.
Oh, it doesn't just come out.
No,
I think
that
they
one
actually
was.
glued.
Oh no, they're not glued. You can get them in, out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Do you mind if I potentially wreck one of these?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could get it back in, but I'd like to
Go ahead.
hold that in my hand. All right, so we're gonna turn this over to you. You can show off some pictures, and we want you to talk about stuff, Paul. You're running the segment.
This is your time to shine. This is
Yes, Paul.
Nurgle Day.
Yeah, it's Nergle Day. Well, the book has got everything. It's got the history of the Nergle chapter called the Death Guard. They used to be good guys at one time, but they got a little annoyed by the way they were getting treated and stuff, so they decided to help the bad guy, Hordes, take over.
So they were basically like, "Hey, use Imperial's guards as we don't like the way Zeus treats us."
We want to be disgusting, pestilent zombies.
insulted my
Gives you a history of their greatest victories.
integrity.
Gives you a history of all their greatest victories that they had, and they got some nice pictures.
No victory in Connor, though.
They didn't lose by much, though, right? Chaos.
We
I
kept
think they got
them
2
very
planets.
busy.
Of
Yes.
6.
That's not too bad. That's a third.
Yeah, that's
What I'm looking
considering.
Not a complete failure by any means.
Yeah.
What I'm looking forward to is that Nergle finally got some tanks that we can use.
I thought like Nerglings were all tanks themselves. Like I know.
Yeah, they are. The normal Space Marines got a strength 4, toughness 4. Well, these Nergle guys have a strength 4, toughness 5. Plus, they got a demonic save called a disgustingly resilient save.
They still have a lot of feel no pain stuff as well too.
Well, that's
or
what the disgustingly resilient
it's
is.
their own custom feel no pain.
Yes.
Nice, because I know that in previous editions you went with Nergling or Nergle specifically because they had feel no pains and like
And they had a better toughness than the rest of them.
yeah.
But this is my favorite. This is my favorite. This is going to be my favorite figure
All
out
right,
of the
so
whole
down
series.
when I keep putting this here because this is on the camera, so don't
This
you
is
don't have to pick it up or
Mortan,
move it.
the Primarch who turned into a demon of Nergle. He is the head honcho of the Death Guard, which is the official name of the
Mortan?
Nergles.
Mortarian.
Mortarian. Oh, that's all right.
And it's coming out with all sorts of different Terminators. You got Terminators that can shoot. You got Terminators that got these nice, nasty scythes.
Do show and tell.
And you got the chapter master of the Plague Marines right now. His name is Typhus, and he's got this nice Sith that they call the Man Reaper.
He has a Sith working for him.
Scythe.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sith.
I was like thinking there was some cool crossover.
Anytime you get confused, Josh, just say something. I'll give you a translation.
Yeah, Typhus is one of the coolest characters.
They come out with a resculpt.
I've seen.
I like the resculpt. I got
could
the
too.
original one,
I'm-
but I like the resculpt.
Go for it. I'm very interested in. I don't really care much for Nergle as far as like aesthetically. I don't really jive with him, but I am very much looking forward to
They
testing
have
out some
insane
green.
bravery. Apparently.
I've seen a lot of green stuff sculpts people have been doing because
Yeah.
they're so easy to add on to. They buy Terminators and they basically just stick green stuff on them.
Yeah, like I
and-
did with my Demon Prince.
Yeah, it's
And then
very cool stuff.
they'll also come out with like a box of his like Mortarian's personal guard or something. So they have 3-man unit.
Yeah, that's the Terminators. Let's get the big, nice little Sith.
Seems it's like not stuck.
Size, whatever you call it.
Just gotta, like,
Very well built.
Yes, it is, surprisingly.
This book also
Yeah, I think
covers,
that's made to come out.
besides
Oh, it's
covering
coming.
the Death God Marines, it also covers all the Nurgling demons you can use.
So basically, we're getting a really in-depth codex specifically for Nergle,
Right.
Yeah.
and it's what do you think as far as like balance and options go? You got good amount of options for it, like
I got a lot more options than when they first opened up the new 8th edition.
well, obviously, I mean,
Yeah,
do
every
you like the
faction
amount?
gets a codex.
Do you like the amount of options
Yeah.
in there as far as like?
The only thing I don't like about it is they should have gave us 2 hit points like most other Chaos Marines have.
None of the Chaos Marines that I use have 2 hit points.
Well, the bikers have 2 hit points.
They're bikes; they're not
The
Marines.
Death God have 2 hit points.
Isn't this the Death Guard?
I mean the Terminators.
Well,
They're
Terminators aren't
Terminators.
Marines; they're
They're
Terminators.
not normal Marines.
There's no normal Marines that have 2.
Yeah, they're in the Terminator armor.
That's
Yeah, but
they're not normal Marines.
Are there Terminators in this?
Yes,
Do they have 2 hit points?
yes.
Okay then.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, but like some of them didn't have 2 hit points
What?
before.
Some
Are
of
we
the
going into story time with Paul now?
what
time.
what
I think you're-
Terminator
What
armor
Terminator has 1 hit point?
had 1 hit point?
Name me
Ever.
one Terminator with
In
1
this-
hit point
in
right
this,
now.
In
The,
8th
the
edition.
original Ultramarine ones from the 8th edition, 7th edition.
Well, we're not.
We're talking
they
about
all
this
only
edition.
had 1 in 7th edition.
Yes, but now Terminators get 2.
Yeah, but you said you wish that their normal Marines had 2
Yeah.
because other Marines get 2.
And none of the
None of
normal
them.
Like
Marines
Possess
have 2.
have 2, and
They're not normal Marines. They're Marines that are possessed by demons.
Yeah, those are monsters. They're like I think they're either elites or
yeah, they're elites.
Right.
heavy. Like they're not normal Marines. They're not. Troop
So you wish
chosen.
a troop had elite stats, is basically what you're saying.
1 hit point extra.
specifically just yours.
Yeah. They don't really have nothing except
all
that,
right.
Dude,
that
I think we figured out how to
They
make
do
these
have a
work.
couple special rules I gotta mention.
The ones that you just never use.
I use them. I used them last game. If you keep moving, like if you use a rapid fire weapon, you can only shoot it at half range. Like if you got a range of 24, you can only use rapid fire at 12 inches. Rapid fire is that instead of taking 1 shot, you take 2 shots.
that's how every rapid fire gun
Yeah,
works.
it's not special.
But now what they do is that they can move, and then they can shoot at 18 inches double instead of the half.
Oh, so they get rapid fire
At 18
at
instead of-
75% of the distance rather than 50% of the
Right.
distance. Gotcha.
And what else? They
If that's a real rule, that's cool.
yeah, it is. It's right in the book.
It's in that book.
Is it that book?
Yes,
or is
it's
it
in
like a
this
first
book.
edition book? Because
It's
we
in
don't
this
use
book.
those anymore.
What's unit gets that? I'm just curious. I'm gonna see.
Regular plague
Actually
Marines.
works pretty well if you roll it now.
It's in the.
It's kind of
If you
cool.
go
Yeah.
to the beginning of the book where they give you all the special rules for them.
Isn't the beginning all the
Galaxy.
fluff?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's also before you get into the troop organization. And
Well,
stuff.
it's fine. You said those are the normal Plague Marines?
yeah.
All right. Do you have anything else that you like about this book?
The new tanks we're getting are pretty nice.
That's
They got
some
one
really sick
tank,
artwork right there.
I think it's called a Death Walker or something like that. It's like the Nergle's version of a Splan speeder, and it throws off noxic fumes that acts like a
You don't
smoke
even have
screen
to
for
break
the regular Marines, so they can get in and kick butt. Do you want me to show you the page?
I'm just looking at the Plague Marines. Continue.
So is that
Describing
thing
stuff.
better than Land Raider in some way?
No. but it's better than a land speeder. It's got toughness 7. It's got like 6 hit points instead of the normal 3 for a land speeder. And it's got, you can have a multi-melter on there and a missile launcher, plus a couple of like heavy machine guns and stuff on it.
The artwork in this is very cool.
Yeah, the GW books always have great art.
Yeah. I think they're killing Tau in this too, which is awesome.
Yes,
'cause
that is great.
I hate Tau.
You and me both.
I played a game this weekend against Rob, and
You lost all of his bookmarks.
some of them.
Josh does not.
Well,
care.
I mean,
All those
Not gonna leave
hieroglyphic
one.
marks.
I lost my Hellbrute and my Defiler in the first turn of his shooting. Wiped all my heavy guys out, and then basically I lost an entire unit of cultists to Overwatch.
Yeah, that
An
was
unhurt unit of cultists
Even-
to Overwatch.
even with cultists. That's
Losing a
not
few
common.
is acceptable. Like,
Cultist is
even
just
half would have
cannon
been
fodder.
like, yeah, they're supposed to
Yeah,
be cannon fodder, but
you generally don't have a whole unit of cannon fire diced off the table by Overwatch shots.
yeah, just
Rob was on fire.
My Poxwalker's got that. Poxwalker is like
You're
a
a Poxwalker.
plague zombie.
Here, Cal.
They're like fallen victims of the Nergle rot syndrome, and they get all changed with technical.
See, I think these all look the
sticking out
same.
and everything.
I don't think any of them look different. It's like, well, this guy's all rusted and covered in slime and stuff, and this guy's all rusted and covered in slime and stuff. This
Yeah,
guy's
but-
slightly greener.
But that guy over there in the corner is slightly lighter colored
Yes.
than the.
Yeah, they're all Nergle is all the same as far as I'm concerned.
Then that map shows you what we took over, what Nergle took over. That red spot, those red spots.
Red spot.
So we had the release of Star Wars Destiny, the new set, Empire at War.
I like that.
I still want you to find that rule.
We had a sealed release tournament on Thursday. It went pretty well.
You guys want to talk about it? Or moving on to Destiny?
Yes. These are good.
The game's great.
What is
We've picked up a bunch of players.
Do they have a theme to what the booster set is?
I don't think so.
No.
I'm not really sure. Well, I think it has like more vehicles and weapons and stuff like that. More.
Yeah, there definitely seems to be a bunch of like vehicles, and some of the heroes definitely have good vehicle like abilities and interactions.
But basically, you need a 30 card deck. You start with 30 points worth of heroes, so they all have like a point cost. You only need 2 of a card, so they're not like, even the hard cards to get are not super hard to get. So the game's like super fun.
It is a very fun game.
Yeah.
I've yet to play it, but I've heard nothing but good things about it. So
I'm a fan of this in particular.
just the nice little
Yeah, the nice little rip
quick
thing.
quick rip open.
Yeah, you can open one too. Figure they get the 2 of them.
Pretty good. Plastoid armor. Gives your attached character +1 health.
All the rares and mythic rares come with a die.
Yep.
And when you play the card, you get the die.
I got a character in this pack. It's Quinlan Voss, Dark Disciple. The characters are kind of key to the game. You sort of build your deck around characters. You get 30 points. Each character has a point cost. The named characters, the ones that aren't like just like Stormtrooper or whatever, generally have 2 point costs. That's the first number is if you start with 1 die. The second number is if you start with 2.
As you say start, do you mean that there's an option to get more dice of their dice?
No,
No.
it's whatever.
So you use 1 or 2.
Yes, and that's
Right.
what determines the point cost.
So that is the unique. You get the dice for this one?
Yeah.
The die. And it shows you all the stuff on the card
different thing
itself.
on what
The
it
one I
does
got was the airspeeder. Come on, autofocus, be my friend. There we go.
Yesterday I got Mace Windu.
Oh, nice.
In
He's a beating.
my prizes for the release tournament, I got a Ashoka Tano. That was pretty cool.
I'm just gonna grab a whole pile. Oh man, I thought this was
It's pretty good.
I thought this was somebody else for a second. I was very excited.
Bosca's in the set though.
He is. That's awesome.
Yeah, I got Bosk.
Another good guy.
I think I just got Bosk's.
I don't know why they have
rifle.
these guys down as villains. It doesn't make any sense. Bounty hunters are not villains. They're inherently good guys.
I think it's because they work for the bad guys, thus making them bad guys.
So, a brief explanation of the way that the
I
game
got,
works.
Deploy Squadron, Defiance, Energy Slingshot, Commander, and Lightsaber.
Is this
Bolt.
the...
Sweet, what do they do?
Lightsaber-
Oh, wait, you've never bothered to play. Never mind. Next. So, you start with 30 points worth of characters. So, if I started Quinlan Vaz, he is 12 points with 1 die or 15 points with 2 dice. So, right, I only have 1 die, so that's what we'll start. And I don't think we got any other actual characters.
I don't think so.
So, if I start with blue characters and red characters, I can play blue cards and red cards in my deck. If you have, there's red, yellow, and blue. Those are the colors right now. And then there's, like,
Neutral.
generic
Which is
neutral,
gray.
which is gray.
Right.
So, right now, if this were my only guy, I would only be able to play blue cards. You get 2 resources a turn. You get them automatically. If you don't spend them, they'll carry over to the next turn. But every card has a resource cost. Like, this one would be 0. And then this one would be 3. So this being a yellow card right now, I would not be able to play that card because I don't have a yellow character. And as far as playing the cards, you only have had to start with those cards, with those characters in play. So if I did start with the yellow character and the yellow character happened to get killed, I could still play this card as long as it doesn't say spot. So if it says like spot a yellow character, then you still need to control that character. But you'll attach upgrades on your character, so I could pay 1 resource and give Quinlan Vaz an energy slingshot. So then I would go in my dice collection and find the energy slingshot die and add it to Quinlan Vaz. So as an action, you can essentially tap your character and you roll any dice that's associated with him or upgrades that he has. And then that'll give you abilities. So if I roll this, I could spend that die to add 2 to a melee strike, which is one of the symbols. It's one of the actions you can take. But you have to have another one because it says plus. You can't just use it on its own. So right now
only
I would
in
have
addition to.
yeah, right now I would have a blank and a plus. So that would be my action. You're rolling the dice is an action, and then all the dice go into a pool and as separate actions. You can resolve them. And now
Oh, like dice, correct? Anything
Yes.
is the same.
Yep.
So why that's important is because you only get 1 action, and then your opponent gets an action. So he gets to see what dice you just rolled and gets an action before you can do another thing, and you go back and forth like that. So it's not like Magic where you do a bunch of things, and if your opponent has some sort of an action, they can also take it. It's you're sharing a turn, and you get an action, they get an action. You get an action, they get an action, until both people pass, and that's what causes the turn to pass. But what's cool is you have a hand of cards, and say you only get 2 resources a turn, and you could play other dice, other equipment and stuff that can potentially generate more energy. But let's say you got a bunch of things that you couldn't play. You can discard a card as an action and re-roll any dice that you want out of your pool. So right now, these are 2 duds for me. So I would discard a card, probably that I couldn't play optimally, and then re-roll them. So now, this takes away our resource from an opponent. Or is that the one that gets a random card?
That symbol right there?
That's the resource.
Oh, I thought that was the 5th element.
No.
I mean, it could be the 5th element, but in this game,
It does totally look like that. The little
It's
black
not.
symbol.
Pass.
And then I got another blank. So that's unfortunate for me because there's only one blank on that die. So I could discard another card as an action and re-roll that. So now that one's really good. That would trigger this character's special ability, which is usually the special abilities are going to be fairly useful.
Deal damage to an opponent's character equal to the number of cards in your hand more than the number of cards in your opponent's hand.
So if they add 0,
It'd be
I could do 3 damage, and that's
So if you're hoarding some cards, you'd be using that specifically. Like, I'm going to
Right.
wait to use that till I have as many cards as I possibly can, right after he's taken his turn and used 4 of his.
So this is basically a representation of what's on this die. It's what you could potentially roll, and the 11 is how many hit points he has. So if he gets hit 11 times or 11 points worth of damage, then he'll die. And when you kill your opposing team, you win. If somebody decks out and has no cards in their hand, then you win.
Yeah, once you deck out, you just no longer have the ability
Well,
to
that
pull
player
cards.
loses more specifically.
Well, once you deck out, if you still have cards in your hand, you just can no longer pull cards.
Right.
But you can still play until you're out of cards.
Right.
Yes.
And there are abilities that discard cards from your opponent's
Yeah.
hand, so you're not like particularly safe. So you could say, "Oh, I'll just never play this last card," but it might get pulled from your hand. So
Yep.
The
Very
dice,
cool
The
game.
dice
yeah,
have
it's
the
super fun.
card.
But you also lose if all your characters are gone, correct?
Yes, you lose if your characters are gone, and you
Does that
lose
count-
if you deck out.
Does that
and
count
have no
generic
hand.
characters that you can throw into your thing that you pay for if
No.
they're still on the board?
Nope,
no,
just
it's
starting
just your
characters.
two target characters.
Well, however many starting
Yeah,
characters
but
you
those
end up with.
once all of them are gone.
Yes. That's essentially your life total for the game.
Nice.
Because like the supplementary characters that you can play, like the supports, they don't even have hit points.
Yeah.
You can't attack them directly.
Gotcha.
You need some sort of a card
That
effect
removes
or
them.
something
Yeah.
to remove them.
And like the inherent idea of the game is your team of heroes is in
Or
a
villains.
straight up fight or villains.
Or neutral.
Characters. Your team of characters is in a straight up fight against your opponent's team of characters. That's the like inherent idea of the game.
Do they have
And all
IP
the
Man?
cards. What is it?
is IP Man a card? Yeah, Ip Man. I don't remember what it's.
IP
Sure.
Man?
The
Is
one
he
from-
like a computer?
You talking about Chirrut from Rogue One.
That is the character. I don't
Oh,
remember.
all right. I
That's-
really had no
He's
idea
played
what
by
you were talking
Diane.
about. All right,
IP
I got
Man,
you.
yeah.
I wasn't picking up what you were putting down.
Is he a character in this though?
Josh likes to say IP Man. instead
I
of
think
Ip
so.
Man, gives you the hipster.
I think there was one.
Me and Spirit of the Rebellion.
Lot of me on pants.
I think Spirit of the Rebellion had a bunch of Rogue One characters.
Don't quote me, but I think there is. So this game came out and it immediately sold out, and there was just nothing to be.
For like almost a year, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
It's like a
for
good 6
chunk-
months.
A good chunk
Yeah.
of time.
Well, no, yeah, getting on a year now.
Yeah, almost a year.
How time flies. And then they came out with a second set
And that's
that was even harder to get than the first set.
Yeah.
But Fantasy Flight has taken measures to get more out there, so they did a reprint and they've been doling it out, and it's getting easier and easier to get. So even though the games have been out for a year, essentially, really, it's only been somewhat accessible for the last few months. So
yeah.
it's a give and take. You know, there's 3 sets. The cards are not, as long as the product is out there, the cards are not particularly hard to attain. So it's really not too hard to go back and get those cards. Now that they're going to be more and more available.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
So,
I know that some of the original set are getting kind of pricey.
well, I think now
They'll
that
drop off some.
Yeah.
right, they were pricey because there was none to be got,
Yeah.
so you had to like pay a premium. And really, compared to even at the height of their low supply, high demand cards, the most expensive cards were like $50, which is expensive. But if you compare it to like Magic
Oh, God,
or
yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh
That's
or
like
another,
that's like a relatively expensive standard card. maybe.
right?
Right.
So
Like, yeah.
with more being out there and it being re-released, and in like December they're coming out with like a
Kinda like
second edition base set,
Yeah,
sort
the
of, which
original
will
sets,
have like
yeah.
reprints of the more sought after cards. So those cards are going to get out there and the prices will come down. So I think now is like the perfect time to get in.
I think so. And the basic plan we came up with was to run these leagues with basically sealed deck, so that
So
new players can.
You bring a deck or buy a deck, and then you get X amount of booster packs, so everybody's on somewhat the same level.
Yep.
So we start with 6 packs. You start with 6 packs. You start with 6 packs. On average, we're going to be fairly close to the same power level.
Nobody can possibly have a perfect net deck, basically.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So, I mean, inherently, certain cards are more powerful than others.
Yeah,
or
but you're not going to
synergize
have that
better,
perfect deck.
But it's not going to be like,
Yeah.
it's not going to be like I'm coming with a full tuned, X $100 deck, and you're playing with 3 boosters and a starter.
Yeah.
Right. So the first one went really well. I think we figured out a really good structure for the sealed, and it also gives the opportunity for people to build up a collection so that they can eventually build, good tournament level decks.
Yeah, because we held we had people calling from Maine, somebody called from
Virginia.
California, trying to get the product, and we only had 3 boxes for
And
a long
it
time.
has to be for.
And we want our customers, we need money, but we want our customers to.
The whole point of the game store is to have people who can actually play games. And if
Yeah.
somebody's just going to buy them to resell them.
So
when
it
you don't
sucks
want to sell them
because we were
buy 'em.
hoarding this stuff when it was going for 3 times what it was, but we didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
But gets real sticky sometimes. But we held it and started the league and doled it out between people that were going to play in the store and gave everybody, fairly equal access to the packs. And now we have a pretty decent supply, at least of the first set.
Yep.
We have a pretty healthy supply. So it should be a lot easier going forward.
Sweet.
And Fantasy Flight also makes Legend of the Five Rings.
Yes.
So
When is that soon, right?
October 5th.
All right, so let's if we're done with the unboxing, right? We're pretty much done.
Yeah.
We're gonna switch over to the unwrap or the what did we call this? Wind down. We had a word for this.
Down.
Wrap up. There we go. That's the word.
Parting
All the
shots.
save. Look at that. Oh, parting shots. Even better.
The
Never mind, Paul.
unwrapping.
I take back my.
Gee, thanks.
It's okay, Paul.
I'm gonna have to make some actual scenes so that this.
Oh, I can make a scene.
All right, we're gonna put 10 minutes on the clock for this one.
Somebody told me Boba Fett was in this set, and after I opened pretty much a whole box,
Oh, he's
and
not in the set.
no Boba Fett to be found.
All right.
After actually doing some research,
We found out that he's not.
he is not.
What's
in
up,
the set.
Jesus? How's it coming? You're just in time for the wrap up where we basically sit around and BS about some stuff in the industry.
Yes.
And things we are looking forward to with no necessary rhyme or reason, just kind of bullshitting. So, yeah, when is.
So
L5R coming
Destiny L5R comes out on October 5th. We'll have a release event. It's a living card game, so you get the box. It's a complete set. We're going to have a tournament called One Core. You use One Core set to build a deck, and then we'll have a tournament with that. And that will be 1/3 of what you need to have a play set of every card in the
Is it a
Witch
day tournament or a month or week tournament?
No, that'll be a 1-day event. But then we'll also be running a league and stuff. And Fantasy Flight Games usually puts out alternate artwork promo kits. So it's super cool things to have, but nothing absolutely necessary to play the game, which is something that I love.
I will be playing in that tournament.
They also generally give some sort of acrylic tokens. Fantasy Flight Games, they give they use a lot of tokens and stuff and nice dials and whatnot. And they're a pretty solid cardboard. They are not cheap by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, when I was playing with the cards that you got from Gen Con, they were really
They're
really
a
nice.
healthy card
Yeah.
stock. They're nice artwork. It's definitely quality.
Yeah, absolutely.
But in these leagues and tournaments, sometimes they'll give acrylic tokens to the winner, and they're really nice and super sought after.
Yeah.
Because these tournament kits, we're really limited to what we can get for them. We weren't even lucky enough to get an Empire or At War release event kit, which was kind of a bummer. But we hadn't been able to run events,
Yeah.
so.
You getting there, though?
Oh yeah, we're definitely getting there. I think next time we're on the verge of really being able to support a lot of games at a much better level. But what it comes down to is people need to come and support the events because that's what
I'm really
gauges,
looking forward to the L5R.
like
That's going to be fun.
Pokemon. We have a group of people that want to play, but without getting people to commit to come down to a day and actually play, so we can report that event and build a history of events. Because these companies aren't gonna just give
you
me
free stuff, yeah.
free stuff, and they're not gonna give me access to their product early if I'm just gonna sell it.
Yeah.
They want to know that this is going to the players. This is a benefit to the players because we get really cool prizes and whatever, but it's the store's lifeblood. We need these events.
Yeah.
We just need them. So please, if you are on the verge, just come and check it out. I don't think people understand really the battle it is to keep the store open. And
Yeah, it's not the product
you
per
kind
se.
of
Yeah, and we do
events.
everything
forget
we
about it, and then
possibly
all of a
can
sudden the
to-
store's not there, and then people are like, "Oh, where'd you close?" I don't know. When's the last time that you came?
Yeah.
But we always do everything we possibly can to help people get into games that they're interested in.
It
Absolutely.
was broken. I didn't. This is.
No, it came broken.
Yeah, it did.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Falls like, oh, I get to shit on somebody right now. Oh
Weasel.
Fail.
Weasel.
Also, I'm really trying my best to try to get some a bigger 40K group going, especially on Saturdays. I know you guys play on Thursdays as well. Saturday's the day I can make it down. We've had the last few weeks. We've had at least 4 or 5 people playing. If Paul ever played, it would be 6, 7.
All right,
6
well,
or
I've
7.
been playing for.
Paul did play Saturday.
Did he?
Yep,
and
he
I
played a game
a
with
couple other
Eli.
days,
Nice.
too.
So
Played a couple other. Then last Saturday, my
At
buddy
least-
came
Well,
down.
we'll
and I
really
played
be
with
pushing
him.
the Saturday now that you're coming.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to come
We're
every
really
Saturday
pushing the
until
Saturday,
I
and
can't.
that means that on Thursday I can push another aspect of
Well,
Games Work,
yeah, like
Yeah, we
Sigmar
do
or
Blood Bowl.
Blood Bowl.
Which- which works out because I really do like 40K, but I love Age of Sigmar and Blood Bowl.
I'm
that's
telling
where
you,
my heart is at.
very shortly I will be getting into one of those two. I'm getting some orcs. I want to paint some orcs. It's,
I like science fiction a lot, but I love
Fantasy.
fantasy.
Yeah.
I just love it. So, given
well, now that
limited time,
it seems like the rules are way better now. Like I actually
Oh, yeah.
want to get into
right?
it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's so nice, very streamlined. I love the rules. It's very simplistic.
Very easy to go up or down in points. So.
Yeah.
It's just very adaptable to different point settings,
Yeah.
and it's funny because that really affects where the strengths of certain armies are. So if your army, if you're playing 1,000-point army or whatever, and you're just getting reamed, plussing or minus 100 points or 200 points could make a significant difference. So
Yeah.
it's really interesting how certain armies are only dominant at a certain point level.
It's really nice. Skirmish is the same way with that too.
yeah,
There's certain armies that are very good in skirmish and just
not as good
pathetic
in
in big numbers.
But we will be doing more skirmish size events because at the end of the day, that's less rules that you have to worry about. Even
Quicker
though the
play.
rules are very streamlined and
Much.
much easier than they were in previous editions.
Yeah.
So it's really not the effort that it was. It was a labor to.
Oh, it was like a 4-hour game.
Yeah, it was.
You know, it was just a long game.
Lots of
If
rules.
you didn't have time,
Where
you never
now
play
it's
it.
The
very,
rules are
very
so
streamlined.
much easier
Yeah.
to play,
Ugh.
and it really doesn't feel like I'm missing anything. Either.
No, not
Right.
at all. Absolutely
Yeah,
not.
it's like when I first played, I actually had an argument with them about that. I'm like, this isn't streamlined at all. There's nothing missing, and they're like, there's so much missing. I had to actually go back, read the old rules, and then be like, holy crap!
Yeah, well, I think what made the point was I was like, how much time did you have to spend looking for rules in the rule book?
and I was like, I
That's
didn't
the
do
thing.
that at all.
It's not even so much that the
gameplay is just streamlined.
that
You're
there
not
were
missing
a lot.
anything.
Yeah, it's not so much that there were a lot of rules because lots of games have a lot of rules. It was that the rules were just everywhere in a bunch of different books. So trying to find the rule was the hard part. And when it comes to these games, you learn the basic rules of the game, but you don't know what I highly doubt that many people know every rule for every army.
Yeah.
So when you're playing against your opponent, they might be playing with stuff that you've never seen before. So you have to ask them what the rule is, and they need to be able to explain it so you can understand it. So that's where you have to check the rule book so I can explain this the right way and blah blah blah. So with this new edition, everything's right there on one data sheet. and it's just so much easier.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
And when fantasy came along,
And then
you had these damn stands that you put your guys in, and you had to use this measurement to measure how you turn them, because you subtract your movement.
Okay, I don't know what he's rambling on about,
gonna
but
say
the point that I'm getting to is by starting with skirmish games, it's less rules for new players and less characters, so it's less of a buy-in. So that's why we're really pushing.
You buy a few guys, you play, you like it, you buy a few more, you
Right.
have a bigger army. Yeah.
it's
and
nice
we
too,
always
'cause
have like
they're
demo
quick.
armies. We have plenty of demo armies. Like pretty much any army that I own or Nick owns is a demo army on top of the armies that we actually have for the store. So we have plenty of variety.
Yeah, you guys have like half the.
Yeah, if people want to come and try something, we'll be more than happy to try to facilitate that in the
Definitely.
faction that you're actually interested in.
I'd have to say that probably like just in the the 5 of us, we know most of the miniatures / card games that are in the store. So
Yeah,
No.
I mean,
I
I feel like that's probably the case just between like 1 or 2 of us.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
A lot of knowledge at the table.
Exactly.
And like I can show somebody 40K and walk away with them feeling that they know the gist of the game.
Yeah.
So I might not know, like, I might miss a couple things, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty much upfront about it too. Like, this is the,
Well, you're
the wealth of my knowledge. I will teach you to the best of my ability, and you walk away with a good feeling of what the game is, and then I'll.
Well, yeah, when he said that we have a lot of game knowledge between like all of us, what
Sorry,
he
I
meant
meant
was
4.5.
you guys know like 90% of games, and the 1 or 2 you don't. We know.
Yeah,
Like,
pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
But that's what I'm saying. So, like, somebody can come pretty much as long as we're not busy at any time. We'll give them like a pretty good walkthrough of what the game is,
Yeah.
and then we'll, if it's something that like I'm not 100% confident in, I'll brush. Like, if somebody came in on a Wednesday, no, we'll say a Thursday, and they wanted to learn Warmachine, I could give them a pretty good overview of Warmachine.
Yeah.
But then I would say, come on Wednesday, and
You'll have
You'll
they'll
talk
they'll
to
give
the
you like
experts,
the
yeah.
real
Over
ins and
abundance of
outs,
people
because
to
I'm
come in
sure
and
that
play.
I'll miss
I gotta play
some
again.
details.
Warmachine, man.
I still have my full army. That guys I've never used before.
It's
Yeah,
definitely
War
gotten a
Machine's
lot
really
funner.
fun, too.
It was never fun when I played it.
It's gotten a lot
I need to
funner
give it
with the
another
way
chance.
that.
I really like the way that I like characters better than units,
Yeah.
and that has more of that, which I like.
Yes.
That's
Ton of solos,
And,
ton of different
yeah.
character jacks.
In Mark
Really
3,
cool storyline.
the
Yeah.
focus is a lot more on.
I feel like a lot of these
individual-
games, it's like who you're playing with also.
Oh,
Yes,
absolutely.
So we have like a really good group of
Yeah.
people playing 40K and Age of Sigmar and
I
War
gotta start
Machine.
playing
You
other
gotta,
people
you gotta
like
think of it. I mean,
Really-
Tau.
you gotta think of it in the sense of, I mean, like, look at 40K for instance.
But
I mean,
even
there
though
was
even though you might not like the army that you're playing against, you still have fun because of who you're playing.
Yeah,
against.
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely.
And that's what gaming should be in
I
my
agree.
in my.
I don't
humble
like. I
opinion.
think that winning is a concern at all times, but it is a secondary concern.
100%,
Having fun.
100%. Especially in hobbies like this, you're not really trying to go unless you're going to try and be the next best like Magic player, which
Sucks all the fun out of it for
Yeah,
me,
exactly,
personally.
yeah.
Like,
But-
I try my
Well, there's
best.
a time and a place.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. And any hobby, you really should be having fun with it.
Yeah,
You know?
it's for the love of the hobby. That's
Like
what
we've gotten competitive before, and like we're getting a little bit competitive with the Magic team, and we're
That's good, though. I mean,
playing
Magic-
to a higher standard. But we also have fun. Like
That's
we
the
also
big
play
cut.
Commander, and like
That's the
where they're the exact opposite. We kind of like in-house ban all the infinite combos between gentlemen's agreement between us,
Yeah.
and where it's like the exact opposite. So
I do
there's a time
specifically
and a
think
place
that
for things.
if you want to be competitive on the nerd level, Magic's probably caters to that better than anything else.
yeah,
Yes.
the ease of play
Yeah.
Pretty fair.
and the
Whereas,
amount
like,
of players and the amount of events, like, yeah.
all right, so I think we're all out of time today. You guys, we get this show every week. We're going to be always talking about the newest, latest nerd crazes. Upcoming
We're always
events.
looking for constructive criticism. So
Yeah, and if you ever you got anything
any
to say on the show,
ideas?
absolutely tell us. If you guys are any of you are ever interested in making a guest appearance too, come contact one of these two. And
Can't possibly have anything less to say than some people.
Like Paul. Jerry.
all right, Jerry. All right, so we'll see you guys next time, and thanks for coming. Don't forget to hit that follow button. Check out our videos on YouTube and
And
all that
possibly throw us a share.
Yes, exactly. Take care.